preparing to be parents to twins. Leah's POV. Everything has calmed down the past week or so. My family returned home, besides Zachary, who has stayed with us. Zachary and I have been spending time together, and we've become close. I have been shadowing Sophia every day for the past week, learning more of what is expected of the Queen. Since our two royal families lead the same way, I'm being trained, and I find it very interesting. There's so much more than I imagined that's involved with being a queen. The decisions Queen Sophia and my mother make multiple times a day aren't taken lightly and affect so many people's lives. I'm so thankful I have these two amazing queens to learn from. As far as my home life, Liam has been such an amazing, loving, and understanding husband. I'll admit I'm not the most easy to live with pregnant woman. My mood swings are intense and come out of nowhere, but my sweet, sexy husband just goes with it. The royal doctor examined me this morning, and Bella and Bria are right on schedule and could be here any day. The room downstairs is prepared and the doctor is on call 24/7. I'm honestly a bit nervous about the giving birth and labor part, but I know Liam will be right there and he's my rock. Truthfully, everything is running smoothly. Isis is a little perturbed at the moment because I haven't been able to shift and let her out to run and spend time with Zeus due to the pregnancy. I have promised to do so as soon as it's safe, and she's trying to be understanding. You just wait until our girls are here, and then all bets are off. Isis growls at me. Before I can reply, I hear my name being called, and I look up from the papers I was going through in Queen Sophia's study to see my sexy husband grinning in the doorway. Well, hello, handsome, I say, and he's beside me in a flash, kissing me. I love when he kisses me, touches me. I have the Queen's permission to take you from your lessons for the day. Are you ready to see our daughter's room? He asks with a mischievous grin. Liam has been working on the nursery for days and refused to let me see it until it was finished. I've been so ready. Really? Are you sure I'm allowed to be near the nursery before I give birth? I ask teasingly, even as I stand up and take Liam's offered hand. We lock up the Queen's study and head out to walk to our house. So I'm assuming my mother is at the new hospital opening with my father. Liam says. She is, as are your brother and Nadine. I reply. The new town hospital is something the King and Queen fought hard to get funding approved for, even going so far to fund almost half with their own personal funds. It's completely modern and high-tech. Liam and I arrive home and walk inside where Marina, Noah and Zachary stand grinning. You've all been in on this. I should have known. I say. Of course we are. Now quit being mad and let's go see my niece's nursery. Marina tells me and I chuckle. All right, lead the way, I reply, and we all head upstairs. Liam opens the door and turns on the lights and we step inside. Wow, it's perfect, you guys, it's beautiful, I say, getting emotional as I look around the room that's been painted a light gray. One side of the room has purple butterflies and flowers painted on it with Bella's name over a dark brown crib. The bedding is the same shades of purple and gray as the wall. In fact, the entire set is the same and it's perfect. On the opposite wall it's painted with the same things, except it's Bria's name, and everything is pink instead of purple. In between the cribs are two plush rocking chairs, and opposite the chairs is the changing table, loaded with diapers and wipes and powder. The closet is filled with matching baby clothes, blankets, bath stuff. I can't believe that we have anything and everything we're going to need for when the girls arrive. I'm so touched that the four of them did this. Thank you. You've made it so every concern I've had about when the twins are here are relieved. I say and hug them all. I kiss Liam lovingly. I love you so much, handsome. I tell him that night as we snuggle up in bed. I love you just as much. He replies, and it's not long before I fall asleep. The following morning Liam and I are awoken before dawn by his cell phone ringing, and he silenced it without even looking at who's calling. I'm sorry, gorgeous, my phone woke you, Liam says before pulling me back against him closer and nuzzling my neck. He takes a deep breath. I love your smell, it comforts me. Before I can reply, his phone rings again, and he growls in annoyance before reaching over to pick it up and check the screen. Suddenly his entire body tenses. You've got to be kidding me. He growls and answers the call, putting on speakerphone. Why in the hell are you calling me? Especially at this hour? He growls, and I'm confused because I've never heard the anger that he has in his voice. Oh Liam, I know you're upset and hurt, and I'm sorry I left, but I realized you're the one for me and I'm back. A musical and sultry voice says, you have made a mistake even calling me. I'm in love with my anima gemella, my amazing wife, and she's the only woman I want, need. Liam says, and then looks at me. My love, the voice belongs to my ex, Victoria. I haven't seen or heard from her since she cheated on me and disappeared with some rich human. A big mistake, thank you, Victoria. If you hadn't been such a selfish, money-hungry bitch, I may have missed meeting my husband, I say before kissing Liam deeply. Liam runs his hands down my sides and around to rub my thighs, making me wet. My love, I moan. You can't be serious. If you're trying to make me jealous, Victoria starts, and I forgot she was on the phone. Liam just hangs up as he sucks on his mark, which makes me even wetter. Liam slides 2 fingers into my entrance. You're so wet for me, baby. I need to be inside you. Liam moans, and I feel his hard length slide through my wetness before entering me from behind. God, you feel incredible. He moans before going back to suck on my mark. I love the way he makes love to me, it's so intense. Yes, Liam, you feel so good. I moan as he thrusts in and out. It's not long before he has me coming apart, and I scream in pleasure. Fuck. Liam is right behind me, roaring as he finds his release. Fuck. We catch our breath and cuddle up in bed. Leah, I hope you know you have nothing to worry about where Victoria or any other female is concerned. There's only you. Liam says. I know, my love, you're mine and I'm yours, and I promise I'm not worried. I reply, and it's true. I know that Liam only wants me. Only sees me. There's no question in my mind. If it weren't true, he wouldn't have searched for me like he did. A few hours later we get up and take a steamy shower and get ready for breakfast. We head over, and I'm wearing a long-sleeve green dress that stops at my knees and my wedge sandals. I'm uncomfortable today and my back hurts, I'm not sure why. The girls are moving a lot. You feeling all right, sis? Zachary asks as we step into the dining room, and I smile. Yes, just my back hurts and your nieces are active, I reply, and we greet everyone and sit down for breakfast when I get a pain across my belly, and it hurts. I scream, not being able to stop myself, and Sophia and Liam are right there. Sweetheart, what's wrong? Sophia asks me as she rubs my back. I don't know, I just felt a strong pain in my stomach, I reply, and then scream again as another pain comes. Oh. When it fades, I meet Liam's concerned eyes. I think we need to have the doctor meet us at the delivery room. I think I'm in labor. I tell him and he helps me up as Sophia goes to get the doctor and Zachary and Liam help me home and to the delivery room. Twins arrive. Liam's POV. Once Leah's brother and I get Leah into the delivery room. He goes to wait for the doctor while I help my wife into a gown and up on the bed. She has 2 more pains, and I'm pretty sure they are labor pains, but she's so strong. How is she so gorgeous even as she cries out in pain? I do whatever I can, whatever she needs to soothe her, while we wait for the doctor. You're so strong, my love, squeeze my hand. Hit me if you need to. I tell her right before she squeezes my hand hard through another contraction, and wow, it's hard. For the next 10 minutes she continues to have contractions, and I'm so glad we can heal ourselves as lichens, because I'm pretty sure one of my fingers breaks. But it heals before the next time she squeezes. Where the hell is the damn doctor at? Did he stop for breakfast first? I roar after another 10 minutes goes by. I'm right here, Your Highness. I'm sorry, I was in the shower. The doctor says, rushing in and getting his gloves on. He immediately moves to the bottom of the bed and lifts Leah's feet into the stirrups. All right, Your Highness, I'm going to take out. Oh shit, he says as he sits on the stool. What the hell is wrong? Why did you say oh shit? Leah growls at him. I'm sorry, Your Highness. I was surprised to see your water just broke. Your twins are coming now, he says and examines her. All right, Your Highness. For crying out loud, you're delivering our twins. Call me Leah. My wife growls and I have to chuckle. Goddess, I love you, I say and kiss my wife. I love you too, she replies before crying out as another contraction hits. Oh why. The next hour and a half are kind of a blur of Leah screaming and squeezing my hand, and the doctor telling her to push. Until Leah pushes, and then there's a loud cry and my wife falls back against the bed. Congratulations, your first daughter is healthy and perfect, the doctor says, wrapping a crying lil bundle in a pink blanket after I cut a cord and handing her to me. I look down at the most beautiful lil baby. She looks like her mother, but already has my black hair. I put her on Leah's chest. Oh, she's gorgeous, my love. Hello, sweet Bria. I'm your mom, and I love you so much, Leah says, holding my hand. I smile at my wife and daughter, feeling so much love. She's perfect. Thank you, my love, for making me a father, I say and kiss my wife and my daughters for it. We love on Bria for a little longer before Leah has me take her off her chest, and I hold Bria while my incredible wife gives birth to Bella. About 45 minutes later, Bella isn't as loud as Bria. She lets out a few small soft cries and then falls asleep wrapped in her purple blanket. I'm in awe of my family. Leah falls asleep quickly and Zachary helps me get her upstairs. My mother and Marina help clean up the twins while I clean up Leah and put her silk nightie on her. She is so damn gorgeous. After a while, Bria and Bella are brought up and quickly fall asleep in their bassinets. For the rest of the day, I work from bed helping Leah with what she needs and changing or holding the girls. Right before we go to bed, I pull my wife close. I thank the goddess every day that I found you. I love you so much, I say before kissing her neck. I thank her for the same thing. I never imagined I'd love someone so deeply, Leah replies, and we fall asleep. I spend the rest of the week with my wife and daughters, and there's nowhere else I'd want to be. My mother has been by to visit the twins and Leah, as have Marina and Noah, almost daily. Today, Leah and I are going to breakfast at the mansion and bringing Bria and Bella with us. After getting ready, I start getting the twins' stroller ready and diaper bags, while Leah gets the girls dressed. When my gorgeous wife comes downstairs in her long sleeve, gray sweater dress and gray pumps, her reddish-brown curls in a ponytail, and a baby in each arm, I feel like the luckiest leakin ever. I take Bella from her, who is swaddled in her fuzzy purple blanket that has her name on it, place her in her car seat that clicks into the stroller. Leah has Bria in her pink fuzzy blanket that has her name on it, and puts her in the car seat, clicking it onto the stroller. There's my beautiful nieces, Zachary says as he comes out of his suite, and leans down to kiss both the girls' foreheads. Good morning, sister. Morning, Liam, he says as we head out of the front door, locking it behind us. May I push the stroller? Zachary asks and Leah says of course. I take her hand in mine as we head to the mansion and into the dining room. Leah, you look amazing for having twins a week ago, Nadine says, walking over to hug Leah and I. She looks at Bella and Bria and grins. They're absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. It's so nice to have you both home, Leah says, and Alec hugs me. They had been handling royal business in the States for the past few weeks. It's so good to be home. I swear every trip is more drama than the last. Alec huffs. I'm immediately on edge because Alec never complains or gets frustrated. I look him in the eye. Problems then? I ask, and he shoots a look to Leah. We will talk after breakfast, Alec tells me. I nod and we sit down with the stroller next to me. After we're served breakfast, we all chat while eating. Sophia and Thomas are telling us about the hospital grand opening. It was a success. I love being part of this family. Breakfast is over too soon, and Sophia and Marina offer to watch the twins so we can meet with Alec and Nadine. All right, brother, tell us what happened, I say, after we're all settled in Mom's study. It's about Burgundy River, isn't it? Leah asks and Alec nods. Well, it must be bad if it's got you on edge, Alec. Go ahead, I can handle it. I smile at my wife, knowing how strong she is. Apparently, since Dante was the alpha, but is now in our custody, the pack needs a new alpha. Alec explains. They're too archaic to consider Dante's sister, of course. So wouldn't the beta become alpha? Leah says. Normally yes, but Dante never named his next beta after his first was killed. Alec replies. So who does that leave to take over? I ask and Alec sighs. Apparently Dante's ex-mate is claiming she is who Dante wants to be alpha. Alec explains. She's crazy, she's not an alpha, plus, they never had their mating or Luna ceremonies. Leah states. Problem is we don't have a clear alpha, and that means technically any pack member can put a claim on it. Alec replies. This has happened only 2 other times in my memory. I explain. So what happens? Leah asks. Well, now that all claimants have stepped forward, in 2 weeks' time, they will compete for alpha. Alec tells her, and I know I have to tell her the truth about it. At such event, the entire royal family is required to attend. To ensure fairness, I say, looking into my wife's eyes, and I know she understands. Listen, I have no problem attending. I'm not the same Leah who was quiet and weak. I'm Princess Leah, and I have an amazing husband, mother and father-in-law, and brother and sister-in-law, not to mention 2 gorgeous daughters. Leah says, and I pull her closer. You never cease to amaze me, my wife. I say into her ear. Mother and father have offered to watch Bella and Bria tonight. What do you think about letting Zeus and Isis out to bond? Leah beams a smile, and I feel the mind link. Sounds perfect, my love. Leah says over the mind link, and Zeus gets all excited. After we have finished discussing the situation with the Burgundy River Pack, Leah and I take the twins back to our house, and after Leah nurses them, and I change their diapers, we put them into their bassinets. I have to work for a few hours and love that Leah offers to help me. I've been working on a proposal to prevent abuse and or mistreatment of lower-ranked wolves in packs. Up until now, the royal family has allowed the packs to be completely autonomous in how they deal with crime and punishment such as abuse and or neglect. I hope to change that. Liam, this is amazing. Leah says after reading through the law. I'm asking the council to approve. I'm just sorry it wasn't in effect when you needed it. I reply. I love you. Leah says, sitting in my lap. By bringing the abused the opportunity to reach out to the council and royal family for help, you're showing our people that no pack is able to hide such abuse, having that ability to do as one pleases, and not worry about it being seen, is what people like Nikki and them rely on. She felt like she could do or say whatever she wanted because no one would dare take on the future Luna. The royal family and council have always tried to let the packs be the ones to deal with those who broke the laws. We've never wanted to rule as a dictatorship. Even with this law, they will continue to do so unless the action involves abuse or neglect within the pack. I say, and that is why I've been working so hard on this bill. I've made sure that it still allows the packs to govern themselves, at the same time protecting those who need it. After working for a few more hours, Leah and I get ready for dinner and get the twins packed up for their night at my parents'. I walk back into our house after dropping Bria and Bella's swings and bassinets off at the mansion when Leah and Zachary walk down the staircase, each holding one of the twins. Are we ready? I ask, and my sexy wife smiles at me. Yes, we just need the diaper bags and the cooler with the pre-pumped bottles. Leah says before kissing me. I grab the cooler and bags, and we head out, locking up the house. We make the short walk over, and the moment we enter the dining room, my mother scoops Bella from Leah. Oh, I'm so excited to have my precious granddaughters all night. It's been a long time since we had babies around here. My mom says before cooing at Bella. We have a delicious steak dinner, and I can tell Leah is nervous. I mind link her. Sweetheart, what's the matter? I ask, and she smiles. It's my first time leaving them. I already don't like being away from them. She tells me. I understand we don't have to do this tonight. I start to reply, but she interrupts me. Oh yes we do. She growls, and I'm not sure it's not Isis for a moment. But then Leah continues. They're in fantastic hands with your parents, and it's been too long since I had you to myself. I just love our girls so much. I know I feel the same way. I say and kiss her. We cut the link and enjoy the rest of dinner before I take her hand in mine and we say our good nights. We leave the mansion, and I know Zeus won't wait much longer, so I head for the woods behind our house. Zeus and Isis haven't had time together since Leah got pregnant, and it's been hard. My time nail. Zeus growls, and the second we're in the cover of the woods, it's obvious Isis is just as ready. Leah quickly strips her dress and shoes off and closes her eyes. I watch her shift, and that's all it takes as Zeus shifts. God, I missed you, Zeus says as he feasts his eyes on Isis. Isis and Zeus start to run and play. Our spot is the lake, and the rest of the night is spent making love and being free, not worrying about anything but each other. Returning to the Burgundy River territory. Leah's POV. I am so thrilled that my brother found his soul mate, and I smile when they return to the main cabin marked. After he introduces us, Angelina and I get along wonderfully. As soon as we land, Sophia, Nadine and I all head to our bedrooms to change, since we're going straight to the competition. Liam volunteers to change the twins while I get ready. Since my dark blue sweater dress already goes to right below my knees, I only change my boots, putting on pumps in the same dark blue color, before checking my hair and makeup. When I go out to the main cabin, Sophia and Nadine join me, and we exit the plane. I step into a stretch limo with Liam, the twins, Zachary, Angelina, Marina and Noah, while the rest of the family is in the one in front of us. We head to the pack's territory, and as we pull up in front of the pack house, I see Alpha Joe and Luna Simone waiting along with Nikki and the other competitors. I'm right beside you, my love, Liam says, taking my hand. We all are, sis, Zachary says, and I smile. I got this, they can't hurt me, I reply, and watch Liam and Zachary undo the girls' car seats. Liam gets out with Bria and offers his hand, which I take and step out of the limo. I reach back, taking Bella's car seat, so Zachary and Angelina can get out before he takes it back. After Marina and Noah exit the car, we head toward everyone. Marina has joined the guard and is now my personal guard. We step up. May I introduce my other son, Prince Liam, and I'm sure you remember his wife, Princess Leah, of course, their twin daughters who are sleeping, Sophia says, and both Alpha Joe and Luna Simone appear shocked for a moment before greeting us. It's wonderful to see you again, Leah. Excuse me, Princess Leah, Luna Simone says. Alpha Joe. Luna Simone. Allow me to introduce my brother, Prince Zachary, and his mate, Lady Angelina, I say, and everyone says hello. Next we're introduced to the competitors, starting with Nikki, who's glaring at me. I know every competitor, and so does Marina. We are quickly shown to the backyard, which has been turned into the competition area with bleachers surrounding it. Our seats are completely separate and on the ground. The chairs are padded and Omegas wait to serve us. There's even heaters, which I'm thankful for since it's chilly. Pardon us, your majesties, but we were hoping to have a word with the king and queen, as well as Prince Liam and Princess Leah, before the competition begins, Alpha Joe requests humbly, and everyone turns to me. I nod. Brother, would you watch the girls for a few minutes with Marina and Noah? I ask, and he of course agrees before we stand up, and after Liam takes my hand in his, we follow Alpha Joe and Luna Simone into the pack house. As we enter, I realize what a cold, dark space it is, the polar opposite of the Silver Lunar's pack house. We head into a small study I'd never really noticed before and remain standing, even after they sit. Even this room is cold. There are no pictures or art on the walls. The walls are painted an industrial gray color, and the furniture is a metal desk, like what you'd see in a government office with matching chairs. There's no books or papers. I'm pulled from my thoughts by Thomas speaking. Alfie. Luna. You requested this meeting, so let's get started, he says, and I've never heard such coldness in his tone. Of course, your majesty. We are aware our son Dante is being held in your dungeons. How is he? Luna Simone blurts out and receives a nudge from her husband. That's correct, he is fine and serving his sentence. Liam replies coldly. May we inquire as to his crime? Alpha Joe says, and Liam looks at me, to which I nod. Your son kidnapped my wife and attempted to forcibly mate and mark her after already marking his mate. He was stopped by myself and my guard when his mate led us to their location. He still tried to mark my mate, but was stopped and informed of the danger of marking an already marked Leakin by one of his own. Liam explains, and neither of them show any reaction. Luna Simone turns to me with tears on her cheeks. Please, Leah, you loved Dante for years, and you know how deeply he believed the two of you were meant to be together. Yes, he acted crazy and made some stupid decisions, but he's not a bad man. She cries out. Please, if you let him come home, we'll guarantee he never goes near you again. I move into Liam's arms. Where were you when he kidnapped me? Where were you when not only his mate but numerous pack members hurt me every day? I snarl. Oh, that's right, it wasn't just them, was it, Luna? Maybe not every day, but you got your turn. Now you expect me to believe you'll do anything to control Dante. I'm shaking, I'm so angry, and it's taking all my control not to shift and let ISIS take over like she's pushing to. Leah, please, your parents were our closest friends, Luna Simone starts saying, but I cut her off. It's Princess Leah, and they're my adoptive parents. My birth parents are King Ernesto and Queen Amelia. You can't even control his ex-mate who's possibly becoming Alpha, but you won't let your own daughter be Alpha? I growl. Where is Donna anyway? I smell her scent, so don't lie. She's in her room, Alpha Joe says, and I feel something is very wrong. Tell her to come down. I order, and for a split second it appears they're going to refuse. But then I watch Luna Simone's eyes glaze over as she mind links. When she ends it, she nods, telling me Donna is coming. A few minutes later, when the door opens, my jaw drops. Donna is dressed in Omega uniform. She is skin and bones, and her normally bright eyes are dull. Her lovely long hair is cut unevenly and is to her neck. Even though her body is covered by the uniform, I know she's also covered in cuts and bruises. It's like looking at myself the night I escaped. Before I blow up, I turn toward Donna, who's looking down at the floor. Donna, you can look at me, I tell her, and she cautiously raises her head to look at me. Leah, is that you? She asks quietly. It's Princess Leah. Alpha Joe corrects her. Not for her. I growl. Then smile at Donna. Please tell me why you're in an Omega uniform and so skinny. Who did this? Donna is silent, and I catch Alpha Joe glaring at her. Leave us, I order, and he starts to argue, but quickly thinks better, and they both step out along with the king and queen, who go check on the twins. Liam remains with me. Please tell me. No one will hurt you, I promise her, and after a few moments she looks me in the eyes. When Dante was locked away, my parents were ready to name me as Alpha, until suddenly Nikki showed up and took them into the office for hours. I'm not sure what she said, but when they came out they said I wasn't Alpha material. Nikki made me an Omega and started abusing me. She cut my hair and starves me. No one is allowed to talk to me, and my so-called parents allow it. Donna cries, and I move to her side, just being there if she needs me. I'm so sorry, Donna. Listen, you're 18 now. How about you come with us? You can stay at our home until you figure out what you want to do. If you'd rather. Alpha Jacob runs the Silver Lunar Pack, where Rachel is, and he'd take you into his pack. They're amazing, I offer, and finally see some hope in her eyes. Are you sure? I don't want to be a burden. Donna says. Of course we're sure you couldn't be a burden. I'm Liam, Leah's husband, by the way. Liam says, and I've never been more grateful to have him in my life. It's nice to meet you, Your Highness. Donna says in both. Nope, none of that, it's just Liam, no bowing for you, so what do you say? Liam asks with a warm smile as he puts his arm around my shoulders. Yes, of course, yes. You're saving me from this hell, Donna exclaims, and I finally see her smile. We ask if she needs to pack, but she tells us all her things were destroyed. We open the door and inform Alpha Joe and Luna Simone that Donna is coming with us, and I mind link Marina to come get Donna and bring her to our seats, which she does. As soon as she leaves the room, I turn to her so-called parents. How could you just stand by and allow your own daughter to be abused and mistreated? I don't want to hear your pathetic excuses. There is no way Nikki can become Alpha. I say. That's the pack's decision. Alpha Joe says. That may be true, but when an Alpha has shown how she is willing to mistreat pack members, as she has repeatedly, that falls under the royal responsibility. We'll have no choice but to do a full investigation into the Burgundy River pack and make changes. King Thomas replies, and knowing he's right, they both drop their heads and go silent. Now, let's return so the competition can get started, Sophia says, and takes her husband's offered arm with Liam and I following. Once we return and are seated, Alpha Joe steps into the competition field and raises his hands as everyone goes silent. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start the Alpha competition. The Alpha competition. Liam's POV. After returning to our seats from meeting with Alpha Joe and Luna Simone, he announces the start of the competition. Since it's the first one I've ever attended, I have to admit it's set up to test the claimants on each vital duty any Alpha must perform. There are a total of 10 competitors. 9 males and the 1 female. I watch each, and after proving she's a selfish and manipulative woman, I know Nikki will not be Alpha unless the Burgundy River pack wants us to intervene. Since we arrived, she's been glaring at my wife, and she was positively raging when Donna was brought out and sat with the royal family. The first event is relatively easy as the competitors must shift to their wolves and do a perimeter run. Items have been hidden, and the first to locate them all and return will win the event. When the whistle blows, they take off for the woods. Leah turns to me. They'll be at least an hour and I'd like to nurse the girls, she says, and I immediately get up and approach the Alpha and Luna. Excuse me, but may we use a spare room, so my wife can feed our daughters and change them? I ask. Of course, Your Highness. Here, let me show you to one. Luna Simone offers, jumping up, and leads us to a gorgeous room on the 2nd floor. After she leaves, Leah locks the door before sitting on the sofa and starting to nurse Bella. As I watch my incredible wife be a devoted and loving mother, I am so in awe of her. After she finishes nursing both girls, and we've changed them, we put them in their car seats as they fall asleep. I wrap my arms around Leah and kiss her. You are truly an amazing woman, my love. Protecting the she-wolf and helping her out of the situation, then moments later lovingly caring for our girls. Is it uncouth to say I'm so turned on? I tell her, and she laughs. Like it would change anything if I said terribly uncouth. Leah says, and we both chuckle because she's correct. I love you, Liam, and tonight I'm all yours, but not here. While we're here, we must stay alert and always keep the twins in sight. I have a very bad feeling someone is going to try something to hurt me. No one will get close enough, Leah. I automatically reply. Liam, I've had the same intense feeling since we entered the pack's territory. I've never felt so sure about something before. The way Nikki has been focused on me since we arrived only enhances it. Leah says, and she's right. Everything inside me is telling me to get my family off the Burgundy River Pack's land. But we can't just leave. As part of the royal family, our sudden departure would be questionable. I am so sorry, my love. I never should have brought our family here. I start to explain, but Leah quickly interrupts me. No, it's not your fault, and if we hadn't come, Donna wouldn't be free. It's not either of our faults. Let's just focus on getting our family home safely, she says before kissing me lovingly, and I know she's right. Leo and I step back and look at the door. I walk to it. Who is it? I ask. I'm sorry to disturb you, your majesties, but I'm Tanya and it's imperative. I speak to Leahi, mean Princess Leah. The woman's voice says, and I look at my wife. Let her in, she helped me when I was here. Leah says, and I decide to trust her decisions. I open the door and an older woman steps inside, hurriedly closing the door before turning to us with her head bowed and her brown hair with streaks of gray pulled up in a bun. She's dressed in the same uniform as Donna had on, which is the pack's uniform for Omegas. Please, Tanya, you may raise your head, no need to look down, Leah says, and when the woman looks up, her face shows the lines of a harsh life. Her eyes, though, as they look at my wife, show warmth and love. This she-wolf truly loves Leah. Your majesties, I must, the woman starts. None of that, Tanya, it's Leah, and this is my husband and love of my life, Liam. Leah interrupts, and once again I smile at how amazing she is before turning to the woman and holding my hand out. It's wonderful to meet you, Tanya. I'm Liam. Thank you for helping my wife when she was being abused, I say, and it takes a moment before she shakes my hand with a smile. Of course I adore Leah. Her mother was my close friend in school, and even after she found her mate, and he was our beta, she was always kind. Tanya explains. It's wonderful to see Leah has someone who loves her so much. She suddenly tenses up. I must warn you, Nikki and Alpha Joe have a plot to take your babies away, so you'll never find them, Tanya exclaims, and there is no question in my mind she's being honest. I walk over to the car seats to check on the sleeping girls, while Leah walks Tanya over to sit on the sofa. I pick up the car seats and join them, setting the girls down by my feet, where they stay in sight. Start at the beginning and tell us what you know, please, Leah says as she sits next to Tanya holding her hand. Tanya takes a few deep breaths before speaking. When Nikki showed up here without Alpha Dante, we all were surprised. She immediately went into Alpha Dante's office and shut the door. A few minutes later, Alpha Joe snuck into the office, acting really shady. I was assigned the VIP floor, so I saw him. Luna Simone had been in bed since the guards came back with word of Dante's imprisonment. About 20 minutes later, I was cleaning VIP 1 when I heard Luna Simone cry out in agony. I knew better than to go check on her. We were forbidden from knocking, Tanya says before taking a few moments to gather herself and continue. She cried out over and over again for the next half hour in agony until she went silent. I finished VIP 1 and stepped into the hall, right as Alpha Joe walked out of the office with his clothes askew. I stepped back into VIP 1 so he wouldn't see me, but I heard Nikki tell him she'd wait in her room after everyone went to bed, so they could go over how to make that bitch pay. I didn't see her, but Alpha Joe looked like he'd been fooling around. I tried to ignore it, but it wasn't the last time, and each time they became more bold. They were mating, and Luna Simone was feeling unimaginable pain every time Alpha Joe cheated. Leah says in anger, when two wolves or lichens find their mate, if one of them has sex with someone else, the other will become overwhelmed by intense pain until the sex is finished. Although I've never experienced it, I'd witnessed a she-wolf crumple into the fetal position in the middle of the throne room and scream in agony for almost an hour. Yes, she did. It was a few days before Luna Simone was not seen or heard from except by her personal caregivers, and suddenly Nikki is in her chair at dinner, and at night Alpha Joe and Nikki retire to her suite, which used to be Alpha Dante's. They made it appear Nikki was replacing Luna Simone. About a week ago, I was once again cleaning the VIP rooms when I was moving down the hall. I noticed the office door open and clearly heard Alpha Joe, Nikki Barbie, and Alpha Joe's guard talking. They were going over the plan to take those precious babies and disappear to hurt Leah. Tanya pauses for just a moment. During the two final events, they're going to take the twins when the royal family is focusing on the competition and make it appear that rogues stole them and hurt them in the woods. Nikki is all set up to win and become Alpha. Then when you've left the territory, the twins will be brought back for Alpha Joe and Nikki to raise as their own. Over my dead body. How will they be together while Luna Simone is here? Leah asks. She's dying. Alpha Joe rejected and severed their bond, and she's slowly dying as he mates with Nikki. She moved into his suite, and Luna Simone is now in another room. Tanya says with tears rolling down her cheeks. I'm in shock. I've never heard of anything like this occurring. The pure evilness and hate that it shows is overwhelming, and my anger builds. I look at my wife and realize she's raging and trembling. She's so angry she's shifting, and she jumps up, rushing across the room as her shift begins. Leah, my love, try to control it. I call out as I jump up and rush towards her. She looks at me and I immediately recognize the dark eyes. I stop a few feet from her. Isis. I get it. But you have to let Leah handle it. We have to protect the twins. Fine. But if they get too close, I'll tear them apart. Isis growls. Then I watch Leah come back as her eyes return to the baby blue that I adore. Tanya, you'd better go back to your chores before you get into trouble. Thank you for protecting us. Leah says, looking at the woman who nods and stands up. They exchange warm smiles before Tanya slips out of the room, and when I look back at my wife, her eyes are hazy, and I realize she's mind-linking with someone. A few minutes later, her eyes clear and she rushes into my arms. I kiss her, holding her tightly. My love, I know you've got a plan, so let's hear it. I say as we pull back, and her smile gets me hot. We hear as the door opens and Marina, Noah, Zachary, and Angelina slip inside, closing and locking the door behind themselves. Leah and I step away from one another and hold hands, moving to the sitting area, where the twins still sleep. No one sits. You all know the situation. The plan our enemies intend to carry out. Leah asks. Yes, I told them all what you were told. Marina says angrily, and I know she's furious about how her old Alpha has basically been killing his ex-mate slowly. This was the pack she was born into and spent the majority of her life in. Yes, just like Leah, she's a leakin' now, and found her anima gemella, but neither have forgotten those they loved. They never will. Even after the hurt that the pack inflicted. They are idiots for even thinking their plan would work. Angelina says, and Leah smiles warmly at her. Delusional. We won't let them near Bria and Bellasis, I promise. Zachary says, and as I look at the group, I feel the intense anger radiating off everyone. I'm surprised no one's shifted, as it's no secret that lycans tend to be more unrestrained and hot-tempered than wolves. But all thoughts leave me as I stare at my wife with my jaw dropped at her next words. No, brother, we're going to let them put their plan into action. The alpha competition too. Leah's POV. After explaining my plan to everyone, we all get ready and head back to the competition. Liam carries Bria's car seat while Noah has Bella's. We have to act like we have no idea something is up. We return to our sitting area and sit down with Sophia and Thomas. The car seats are placed slightly behind us, under one of the umbrellas, so they're in the shade. Two of the guards, Stefan and Theo, who are the twins' personal guards, stand beside the car seats. Other than Marina, Noah, Zachary, Angelina, and Sophia and Thomas, who Liam informed them of the situation and plan by mind linking before we left the room, no one else is aware anything is going on. I'm sorry we took so long. Bria had gas, and it took her a while to burp. I say loud enough so others could hear to Sophia. What did we miss? The first two events have been won by the female. They're about to start the paired fights. The first 2 minutes, they can't shift. But when the whistle blows, they can. The winners will face off in the next event, with the final 2 going head to head in the final event to decide winner. Thomas explains, and the event begins, and we all watch as Nikki defeats her competitor. It's over quickly, and the next event begins. They're unaware we know and aren't even trying to appear legit. Liam says over our mind link, and he's right, Nikki isn't out of breath. When I glance at Alpha Joe discreetly, I notice he's continuously looking towards us nervously. If I wasn't acting like it was just another day, I'd laugh at the man I once believed was powerful and scary. His forehead shines with sweat, and it's not even that hot out. Yep, he's nervous as hell. As expected, the final event starts with Nikki and a man who's twice her size facing off, and we all appear to be completely focused on the fight. Liam takes my hand in his, and moments later all hell breaks loose. Stop them. They're taking the twins. Stefan roars, and even though I know it's all part of the plan, I shiver at the words as we all jump up and see Barbie and one of the Burgundy River Pack's guards running into the woods, each carrying one of the car seats. As the royal guards rush after them, Luna Simone stands up shakily. Guards, help them! She yells, and they listen, following the royal guards. Nikki is watching me, and she's terrified, since she knows I saw Barbie with one of the car seats, and Barbie doesn't do anything without Nick's okay. Alpha Joe rushes over, and I'm more angry as I notice Luna Simone struggling to join us. Oh, this is horrible. Your poor babies, your highnesses, we will find them. Alpha Joe exclaims a moment before a loud cry sounds, and I grin as I lift up the oversized poncho, like blanket, I'd been wearing, and lift a crying Bria out of the chest carrier I'd had her in, and she nuzzles her face into my neck. I know, precious, all this noise woke you up. It's okay, mommy's got you. I coo and smile at the shocked and afraid expressions on Alpha Joe Nikki and his guards' faces as Liam lifts Bella out of the carrier on his chest that was concealed by a matching poncho-like blanket. Alpha Joe tries to play it off. "Oh, thank goddess they're safe," he exclaims, but the nervousness in his eyes gives him away. It gets even more profound when his eyes meet mine, and it's obvious I'm not hiding my anger or the fact that I know more than he expects. Do any of you have any idea the consequences of attempting to kidnap a member of the royal family? King Thomas asks, and his entire presence radiates authority. There's no question that he's in king mode, not father or grandfather mode. "Your Highness, it's not our pack's fault that your granddaughters were almost kidnapped," Alpha Joe says. "Whomever is involved will be decided after the council's thorough investigation and questioning. Anyone not involved will of course be cleared and not punished. However, those who are involved will be punished," Queen Sophia explains, and no one misses the terrified look Alpha Joe shoots Nikki. Nikki, however, still looks as though she isn't concerned. She must be insane as she walks up to where we stand and almost pushes Luna, Simone, away to stand beside Alpha Joe. "My fight was stopped. That's not fair. I should be Alpha," she complains, and I laugh. "What are you laughing about?" "How dare you speak," Marina starts to say, but I hold up my hand to stop her. "What? Just because you got lucky by having a prince as your mate doesn't mean you're not still the same weak, slutty wolf you've always been," the lil bitch says, ignoring Alpha Joe's attempt to make her stop. My handing Bria over to Zachary doesn't even shut her up, but when I step up to her and growl, she immediately goes silent. Her expression changes from haughty to terrified. "You have no idea who I am. How dare a evil, psychotic she-wolf talk like that to a Leakin princess?" I growl. A Leakin? You're a Leakin." Nikki stutters. "You're speaking to Princess Leia, a Leakin princess," Liam says, and I smile. Before she can say anything else, we all turn as we hear an annoying voice yelling, "You said it was foolproof. You promised no one would know." Barbie is angrily yelling as she glares at Nikki. She's being restrained by the royal guard who's half walking her, half carrying her over. "You dumb bitch. I'm so done listening to you. I should have stayed with Buffy, but no, I followed you. Shut up, you idiot, before you screw up everything," Nikki yells. "We're already screwed, you idiot. Look around. We're caught, and I'll be damned if you walk away," Barbie yells at Nikki before turning to me. "This is all Nikki's plan, and I'll tell you everything, plus I can prove it. She's been jealous of you since Alpha Dante's birthday party." "I'm listening," I reply. "He wouldn't mark her for weeks, told her that she'd never measure up to his Leia." Barbie starts. "He wouldn't even have sex with her until she drugged him. She was furious that she had to drug her mate and then seduce him. She told us he even moaned your name. She marked him, but he didn't. The next day she told him how amazing she felt, and then he marked her, but he never treated her like a mate. If it had been anyone else she was talking about, I'd feel bad for her, but not the bitch who abused me and tried to kidnap my babies. After you ran away, Dante insisted they go with Prince Liam and find you. He told her he'd mark you and make you his. He forced Nikki to join him. When you found your soulmate, Dante went insane, and that's when he took you from the Silver Lunar Pack. Nikki went to Prince Liam and told him where you were. The day before you were taken, Alpha Dante rejected and broke his mate bond with Nikki." Barbie pauses. "She disappeared for a while, but showed up a while ago and told us she was coming back here and had a plan to not only make you pay, but to become alpha. I should have stayed with my sister, but no, I joined Nikki. When she pauses again, I wait for her to continue. When we arrived, she immediately went to Alpha Dante's study and ordered me to retrieve Alpha Joe. I sent him to her, and when he went in, I silently went into the hidden door that entered the hidden room next to the study that I discovered by accident months earlier and listened to the two of them. Barbie says, and Alpha Joe looks at the ground ashamed. Nikki told him that he was going to help her with her plan, or she'd tell everyone that Alpha Joe was not Alpha Dante's biological father. One of the guards was, and that Alpha Joe was going to do exactly as she told him. I am shocked by this revelation. Then Nikki made sure he'd listen by seducing him. He tried to push her away, but Nikki got her way and they had sex. Then, just like she did with Alpha Dante, Nikki took over and he let her. He severed the mate bond with Luna Simone, and Nikki suddenly took the role. She had it in her head to take Leah's babies as her own. She finished her story and I'm furious. She's too stupid to realize a Leakin mother never stops searching for her babies, and no, she Wolf could raise Leakin babies. I say, and it's true, just look at my mother. My adopted mother always said I was the most strong wolf she'd seen. I apologize, Princess Leia, for not just my part in today, but in the abuse I put you through. I'm ready to accept my punishment. Barbie says, and it's clear she means it. While we appreciate your honesty, you will be punished for attempting to kidnap our twins. We are not ready to decide that punishment, so you will be restrained and taken to the royal dungeons until we do. I tell her, then look at the guards. Take her to the plane. Yes, Your Highness, they say, and leave. Then I turn my attention to Alpha Joe and the rest. Alpha Joe, Nikki and Alpha Joe's guards will be taken to the royal dungeon to await appearance in front of the council. Guards, King Thomas says, and the royal guards quickly take them away. As for the Burgundy River Pack, your new Alpha will be the other finalist, Gerald, beginning immediately. The man humbly steps forward and accepts before we all start to leave. Can we please go straight home? I ask, and Sophia hugs me, agreeing immediately. We all head to the limos in front, when suddenly I catch Luna Simone fall to the ground out of the corner of my eye. Someone get the doctor now. I yell as I run over and drop to my knees beside her, taking her hand. She opens her eyes and gives me a weak smile. I'm so sorry I didn't help you. Your mother is going to let me have it, she whispers before closing her eyes and letting out her final breath. She's gone, I say before standing up and taking my husband's hand as we head to the limo to go home. I'm leaving the territory for the final time. The door to my past is closed. X's. Leah's POV. After I finish nursing Bella, Liam and I get both babies changed and lay them down in their bassinet next to our bed. We leave Noah and Marina watching them, and after straightening up, Liam takes my hand and leads me to the mansion and down the staircase to the dungeons. I've never been to the dungeons, but as I step into the dark corridor that's lit with torches, I feel I've been transferred to the medieval times. The corridor is made of rocks and goes past multiple interrogation rooms. A few doors are open, and I see chairs with built-in restraints, and in one a table with tools. I'm not surprised. Are you ready, my love? Liam asks, stopping in front of a wood door with multiple deadbolts. Yes, let's see what he wants. I reply, and Liam opens the door, and we step into a room with 4 cages, each one made of silver, I know, and 2 guards watching. Your Highnesses, they both say before bowing, and Liam nods. Dante is in the first cage with Nikki and Alpha Joe across from him. Barbie and the guard are next to Nikki and Alpha Joe. Alpha Joe looks like he's aged 20 years since he was taken to the plane. They all start talking at once. What the hell is going on? Dante growls. How dare you lock me up? My father will hear of this. Nikki yells. Leahi, mean princess, what happened to Luna Simone? Alpha Joe asks weakly. I lose my temper. Enough. Now, we're here at Dante's request, then we'll get to you. I say, and after everyone goes silent, I turn to Dante with Liam holding my hand. You requested to see me. Yes, you. Dante replies. You won't see me without my husband, so tell me what you need and stop wasting time. I say, and wait. Fine. Why is my father and my mate here? What happened? Dante asks. Ex-mate, you mean? Nikki says, but Dante ignores her, looking at me. Your father, Nikki, and the others are being held for punishment after attempting to kidnap our babies earlier today. I tell him. I know he's going to want the whole story, but I know it's going to hurt him, and remembering that once we were close makes it hard. Please, Leah. Princess Leah, I know there's more, so just tell me what is going on. Dante begs, and I look at my husband, who knows how hard this is for me. Liam squeezes my hand, showing he's right here, and will follow my lead. Oh, for crying out loud, just tell him it's all going to be public record soon enough. Barbie says, and she's right. All right, well, after you severed your mate bond with Nikki, she made a plan and returned to the Burgundy River Pack, proclaiming you wanted her to be Alpha. Upon arrival, she went to your office and summoned your father. When he arrived, she threatened to tell everyone who your real father was if he didn't help her in her plan. Then, to make sure, she seduced him. I pause to breathe, and Dante looks at his father and Nikki with deep anger. I felt it not just once. Dante growls before turning to me. Please continue. Luna Simone was moved to a room where she felt every time they were together. Nikki put herself in the spot she should have been and convinced your father to place Donna as an Omega, who became just as abused as I was. I continue. They made their plan, and during the Alpha competition, Barbie and the guard attempted to kidnap our twins, planning on hiding them till we left, after they made it appear rogues had taken them and killed them. Then Nikki and Alpha Joe would raise them as their children, with Nikki becoming Alpha. We were made aware of the plan and allowed them to take car seats with dolls, while Liam and I kept our girls safe. The royal guard caught Barbie and him, and they've all been brought here to wait going in front of the council. I finish, and Dante is furious. My mother, he asks in pain. I'm sorry, she passed right before we left. I tell him, and Alpha Joe sobs. Hearing him, Dante growls. Don't you dare, you did this. You killed her. Every time you were with that skank, you killed her a little more. Then you severed the mate bond. Don't you dare act sad, you knew what you were doing. Dante screams at Alpha Joe, who looks shocked. Then he looks at Nikki. I felt it too every time. But I'm young, and I'd already severed our mate bond. I will regret the night I realized you were my mate forever. All because of her. You wouldn't even try. Nikki starts screaming, and I've had enough. I turn, and Liam and I leave the dungeon. I'm not even in the mood to hear them play blame games. Liam and I are almost to the door to leave the mansion when my cell phone rings, and I pull it out and groan, but answer it. Hi, Mom. I answer and Liam squeezes my hand as we walk out of the mansion towards our house. Please tell me you, Liam, and the twins are safe, she says, and I kick myself for not calling sooner. She had to hear about her grandbabies almost being kidnapped from someone else, and must be thinking about when I was taken. I'm sorry I didn't call you, but yes, we're all fine and the ones behind the attempt are in the dungeon, I reply. I sit down on one of the benches on the walking path, and Liam sits beside me. I feel incredibly bad that I didn't think about how it would make my mom and dad feel. Sweetheart, stop beating yourself up. You were dealing with a scary situation, and from what your brother said, you handled it amazingly. You did what you should have, making sure your children and husband were okay. My mother says, and the tone of her voice says she means every word. I'm just happy it all worked out. We love you, Leah. I love you all too. I'll call you tomorrow, okay? I reply and say goodbye. After hanging up, we just sit for a little while as the sky darkens and the full moon rises. Let's go check on the twins and get them settled down. Zeus is driving me nuts to run, Liam says. Isis also. Full moon, can't waste it, I reply and stand up, holding my hand out to Liam. He grabs it and grins. No, we definitely cannot, he replies, and the next thing I know he picks me up, wrapping my legs around his waist, and kisses me deeply as he heads to our house. As we make it to the front door, Liam's kissing my face and making me giggle. My, still bringing home skanks, Liam. I must have hurt you horribly if this one here is you pick of the night, a haughty, smooth voice says, and I feel Liam tense up and growl. Without putting me down, he turns to face our surprise visitor, and I know exactly who she is. Victoria. What the hell are you doing here? I made it clear when you called. I'm married to my soulmate, Liam growls, and I nuzzle into his neck, feeling him immediately calm down. I'm not sure why you're trying to hurt me, but we both know she's not your soulmate. I'm back now, Victoria says with a hint of hysteria in her voice. Oh, I apologize for my inconsideration, Victoria. This is my wife and soulmate, Princess Leah Caputo. Leah, this rude interruption is my ex, Victoria. Who's leaving? Liam says, and I look at her. Liam, please, baby. She whines and steps towards him with her hand out. I let out a deep growl, which makes her jump back. It's time for you to leave, I say, and Liam laughs. He carries me past her and into our home, shutting the door with his foot as I laugh. What's got you two all giggly? My brother asks, and Liam gently places me on my feet. Nothing, just dealing with exes, I reply, and Zach laughs. Victoria? He asks Liam and shakes his head. Tried to tell you that one wanted the title and wouldn't walk away. Yeah, and I should have listened, Liam says. Okay, what am I missing? I ask. Nothing, sis. Just Victoria met me at home first, and when I ended shit 6 months later, she's trying to get with Liam. Zach replies. Complete title whore. Maybe if you'd told me everything, not just that you'd met, it would have helped, Liam says. The two of them just laugh it off. Then Liam gets serious. I know that expression. It generally precedes you saying something that's going to piss me off. I tell him, and his eyes tell me I'm right. All right, I'm listening. Until she for sure backs off. I don't want you or the twins alone. I want you to have your guard with you, and the twins' guards with them anytime I'm not with you, Liam says, and he's definitely concerned. Is she that dangerous? I ask, walking over into his embrace. I don't know what she's capable of. She showed up after I told her about you on the phone. he says before kissing my temple. Seriously. Damn okay, Angelina, I have to ask the same thing from you. Zach tells her and she agrees. Good move. Alright, I'm taking my wife to bed, Liam says, and we head upstairs, where we make love until dawn.